Hey everybody, Johnny Vivento here, coming to you with another one. I just thought I'd be on here a few times today and check out what's going on down here. This is where I live, this is my complex. I just want to show you a few things here. So you can't see it because it's a massive oak tree right there. But there's a lot of construction going on around here, so it's going to be a little hectic for the next year, I hear. But anyway, just thought I'd come out here and show you a little bit about this place and the kind of way I live day in, day out. My trusted bike, as I just showed you before in the last video. And we all have Starlink. There is nothing better than Starlink, okay? We have our Starlinks all set up. That's one thing Sarasota Tim can't have, right? Starlink. He can't have Starlink, okay? Unless he puts one on top of his. Very expensive, by the way. But you know, it's a great investment. You gotta make those sacrifices sometimes. I'm just so mad with the hate mail and with these haters out there, you know, and it's not fair that they come out and really kind of dehumanize this guy, honestly. And I just thought I'd come out here. I'll give you a few pointers about Mexico as well, about how you can do it. And just be strong. You just have to be strong. You know, you have to be tough. You have to say, I'm going to do this. I'm going to break the system, because it is a system in the United States. There's a way that people perceive being good, and what can I say? They perceive this thing that you have to go to work every day and bang it, and then, which we all do. We all pay our school taxes, our property taxes, kids' taxes. The kids go to some kind of outing. It costs us a fortune, right? A field trip. And we all go through this stuff. I'm telling you, that's celebrating 25 years. This is the best cup of coffee I think I've ever had in my life. It really is. That's all I've got to say. And don't believe a thing I say, okay? Not a thing. Don't believe one thing I say. I'm even becoming like Tim now. I'm doing the mannerisms. I'm going to show you how to make bacon and eggs tomorrow. No, I'm not. I don't eat bacon, and I rarely eat eggs. And I lost like 50 pounds in the last 3 years. You know, I'm down now to like 220. I think I was 227 this morning. But believe me, I was pretty heavy, you know, 5 years ago. But I lost all the weight, thank God, and I've just been trying to keep a little fit. Still got a little belly there, you know, but it's going. So anyway, just as I'm getting older, you know, you like shrink, but you this part you can't, you know, you can't get rid of, but you're kind of shrinking and everything. You know, your hands are getting smaller, your feet are getting slightly bigger. It's so weird. It's the weirdest thing, getting old. But anyway. Back to what we were talking about, right? All you haters out there. Oh, man, I just don't get it. But anyway, I just want to be positive, and I want to give you, of course, the right vibes and the right advice of what to do. There's an alternative. You don't have to retire in the United States. I'm right next door. I'm 2 hours that way. Actually, no, 2.5 hours. By plane, I live 15 minutes from the airport, and I am 2.5 hours by plane, which there are hundreds of planes a day going to the United States. They're going to San Diego, they're going to Seattle, Washington, San Francisco, LA, of course, you know, and then you got Denver, you got Tucson, you got Wyoming, Flagstaff, you got all over. Every single city and town in the U.S. flies to Puerto Vallarta. Okay, it's that simple. If they don't, you know, you do a detour. You go, you get a stopover, and you go home. It's so easy here. You know, it's so easy, and you're right next door. If there's any major problem, you can always go home. A couple of hours, you know. The thing is that come to Mexico. You don't have to come to Vallarta, but you know you can go to Veracruz, anything by the coast. Okay, Veracruz, Merida, which is in the Yucatan. You got Cancun. You have Playa del Carmen. Then you go down. You go to Acapulco. There's a little place called Campanillo. It's in a state of Colima, which is just south of here in Puerto Vallarta. Amazing, very, very nice, very quiet. I'm thinking of moving there myself. Or you can go inland to Guadalajara, and there's a place called, it's actually a lake called Lake Chapala, where everybody is going to Lake Chapala, you know, but you should rent a place about a mile from the Lake Chapala because they're a lot cheaper. So you're within the community, the Mexican community, and things are much cheaper. If you live with expats, prices are double. It's just simple as that. I live with a lot of expats here, but not that many. You know, it's just kind of in between expensive and non-expensive. But there are places non-expensive. I was in one yesterday, a place called Pitayal, which is right. It's here in Vallarta, but it's a little place right next to Vallarta, and it's a wonderful place. It's very vibrant, and it's very few foreigners walking around. You hardly see any. It's only locals, but prices are a lot cheaper. Food is amazing. We got to get into the food. I'm actually going to show you, before I leave for Denver, I'm going to get into the food. I'm going to take you to a place and show you what it's like to eat here. Amazing. You're going to love the food. If you think Mexican food is good in the United States, it's not bad. I'm not saying it's terrible. You know, the ingredients are good. They use them, but it's the way that here it's made with more love. I can't explain it. It's more of a family thing here, where they're not here to make a massive profit and to kill. You know, in the United States, the prices are crazy because of the rents. The rents are nuts. The taxes are nuts. The minimum wage is nuts. They've got to pay the staff. Okay, well, it isn't really nuts, but I'm just saying, but it's expensive. It's not cheap. You know, when I say nuts about that, I'm talking about chefs making, let's say a chef makes 25 bucks an hour and he's working in your kitchen. A person in the wait staff will make $12 an hour, but they get tips, and they make a lot more than the people in the kitchen. This is what's been going on for a for decades, you know. And is it right? Well, I don't know. But you can make your own conclusions. I did, but I'm just saying that I know how much chefs make and how much servers make. So, apart from that, here it's more of a family thing, okay? Food is good. You're well looked after, but it's more of a family atmosphere where people are kind of paid the same. And when you give a tip in a restaurant, it goes to everybody. This doesn't go to the wait staff. Everybody is in the pot. Okay, it's just the way it is here in Mexico. A big thing about Mexico are the coffee houses. Okay, now, you know, I do anyway. I go to a convenience. I go to 7-Eleven. So I go get gas, and I go to 7-Eleven. If in the morning I might buy a cup of coffee. I probably had one already, but I think for the car it's a little cold. I'll buy a coffee like Sarasota Tim does. And it costs, what's it cost? A couple of bucks maybe. 150 to like 225 for a nice cup of hot coffee in a good place, you know. And it's good coffee, but here the coffee is exceptional. Okay, now the coffee house, they grow their own coffee here. So all the states, including Jalisco, Colima, you know, Aguas Calientes, all these states, they all Nayarit, they are producing coffee. It's always different coffees, and so you get a nice feel of different coffees. Every time you go to a different coffee house, okay, you're going to find a different coffee from a different state or a different region, let's say. So there's always your favorites, and I go to this place called Coffee Monkey down the road. Whenever I pass, man, it's like, wow, I'm passing Coffee Monkey. Let's go and get a cup of coffee. And I'm not the kind of person that spends $10 on a cup of coffee at Starbucks, you know, that has cream on it and whatever. I'm talking about a regular cup of Joe that you would get in McDonald's, Burger King, all these kind of places, or even a diner in the US. A normal cup of coffee, and that's what I buy. And I buy an Americano, so it's coffee with a little milk, a little Splenda or whatever, you know, like a sweetener, and wonderful. Can't beat it. Wonderful, wonderful. So, and here you're going to get tempted. You are. But things are inexpensive. That's what I'm trying to get at. Now, the price comparisons, you can go to a restaurant in tonight. Actually, I'm going out tonight. I'm going out tonight for a celebration with a couple from Las Vegas who are good friends of ours. They have an apartment right down the road here. They are wonderful people. They are absolutely incredible, and they're just great. They invited us, but we go 50-50. We don't, you know, we go for a nice time. Whenever they're here, we go to an Italian place called Dolce Vita, which is right down by the Sheraton Hotel on the main strip of hotels here in Puerto Vallarta. And it's an elegant place. You know, it's an elegant place and nice, and it's not the most expensive. There are restaurants that are crazy expensive in Vallarta. This one isn't, okay? But it's a middle of the road kind of restaurant. But still, the prices are about what you would pay in a Chili's or an Applebee's or that kind of chain restaurant. You know, it's about comparable. It really is. It's about the same price. Service is wonderful, and you know, like you go to a Outback restaurant. You know, the Outback Steakhouse, Australian place. They're all over the United States. That kind of price. Okay, that's the kind of price you're paying for the Dolce Vita. You get a nice antipasto, then you might have a nice pasta and a dessert. Maybe you share a dessert, or maybe you have two, a cup of coffee, a couple of drinks. I don't drink, and none of us actually drink on the table, so we're all going to have sodas, let's say, or we're going to have fresh juice, because in Mexico, everywhere has fresh juice, okay? They do not, rarely ever will give you a juice that isn't fresh. They will actually squeeze it themselves, and that's the way it is. There's fruits in abundance here in Mexico. So, you have, for four, it might cost us $120 for 4 people with tip, okay? So, maybe 130 for 4 people. Now, and it's quite an elegant place. It's a little above, well, actually I said it's like the Outback or whatever. It's about the same price. But this is with tip, okay? About 120, 130 maybe. Now, you can go to a place around here. There's hundreds of these little places where you can go and you can sit in, and the family comes to serve you. And you, all of you, the whole 4, you can eat for $50. Okay, probably about the same quality of food, you know, about the same quality of food with a nice appetizer and 4 entrees, 4 nice fresh juices, probably $50, okay, for 4 people at dinner time, if you want to do that, you know. But it's a place where it's like a family-owned place, where maybe the kids are serving you, or even the husband, and he's in the kitchen and the wife's outside, whatever. But I'm just showing you how it is here in Mexico. It's different. It's what can I say? If you want to eat cheaper, you can. Okay, we go to the Dolce Vita for the simple reason they have music sometimes, and like they're kind of jovial. It's kind of like a more elegant place, you know, like a fine dining, like the Outback is, let's say. About that quality, I guess, a little better actually than the Outback, I think. But that's how we're going. We're going for a little, and the presentations on the plate are always beautiful in this kind of restaurant. So you're paying maybe $140 for 4 people, okay, including the tip. And you've all had a couple of drinks or whatever, or sodas or fresh juices. Or you can pay $50 in a lower class place. But I'm not saying lower class. I don't think there's anything such. There's no class difference, okay? The food in the Mexican place is just as good, I think. And you can have a mixture of all different entrees and whatever, and traditional dishes. And it will cost you $50 for 4 people. You'll be just as full. It's just as much food. Okay, so you've got to look at it that way. What do you want to do? Well, that's what I'm saying. You've got to really budget your money. You know, you have to budget your money here. You're retired. That's how you do it. That's the way to do it. I see Americans all the time, retired people, going to top-class restaurants every day. They're very wealthy people, and good luck to them. You know, they've worked there, most of them anyway. I'm not saying all of them, but they've mainly worked their butts off their whole life, and now they have a big retirement check every month. They can do what they want. They can buy what they want. I can't personally, but good luck to them if they can. I'm happy doing what I do. just like Sarasota Tim is with his money. Okay, he's happy doing what he's doing. He enjoys the RV. You know, one thing I've got to tell you is that for the last 3 or 4 days, he's been at the Tampa RV show. He's done an amazing job at that show. Okay, and he really has. He did an incredible job. He showed people, you know, he really did. He went down the prices. He said this is the manufacturer retail price, and it's not really the way it is. You know, he gave us some advice if you want to buy a new RV. RV is something I would never ever buy. I don't think I would. I would probably buy an old one, just, you know, travel a few places, but I would never buy one to live full time in. But people out there, they want to know this information. He goes to the Tampa show. There's other videos, but you don't have that personal touch that Sarasota Tim gives you. He's like a guy who is not an expert in the field, not a thorough expert, and he's not trying to sell you an RV. He's not telling you lies that most of the salesmen do. He's telling you an honest opinion on his show. He's done it for 3 days. He's done an amazing job. You got to give the guy credit. I don't care what you say. And he also gives you some great advice on his RV and how he lives. He gives you great advice on the trailer, the pickup he has. And he's had like 3 different cars, right? He's giving you some good tips. A lot of people saying they're untrue. He didn't. He paid this. He's doing payments. He hasn't. It's not about business, man. He just gives us some advice, the kind of advice that we all need, and we're happy that he gives us that advice. Okay. Apart from that, if you'd like to see a little bit more of what I'm having here, just to give you, I don't want to bore you with this stuff. I want to give you some insights into my life, how I grew up and all that kind of stuff, because I think it's about time I went it alone, okay? And which I am going to do. I promise. I'm going to go it alone. I'm going to tell you all about my life, which has been pretty interesting. And so this is what we have. This is over here. We have a butterfly sanctuary. I told you the other day on a video that we have crocodiles in here, and there are crocodiles in there, okay? Crocodillo, and they are in there. They're in this, it's actually a big river right here. And over here we have a big mansion that has, they have weddings every weekend and concerts. It's an amazing place right over there, you know, beyond those trees. It's an amazing place, you know, a massive mansion where they rent it out for concerts and for weddings and for all kinds of, even what do you call it now? I forgot the name. Even confirmations. So rich people have their kids' confirmations in this big mansion, and you can't see it now because the trees are like covering it. And we have been able to see the mansion over here, but right now you can't see it, okay? But I'm telling you, it's there, right behind that tree, and I just cannot get a view of that mansion, but it is there, okay? And here you have a river where there's crocodiles in there, okay? And next door to it over here, just like in Atlanta, Georgia, at the Masters, okay, every single year, they have alligators, right? And crocodiles running around running around the course, okay? But you over there, that's the butterfly sanctuary. The big golf course is over here. The mountains, you can see the mountains, the Sierra Madre Mountains up there. And those mountains overlook the bay at Puerto Vallarta, okay? And here's our electrified gate. I'm in a gated community with cameras, and it's all electrified, so it's quite safe here. I'm also going to show you my little garden I made. Now you see the tires. I actually got these tires from a tire place. I actually had to pay for delivery. They charged me like $25 to deliver them, but they were free. The tires were free. They're old tires, and I bought them and I painted them. And I had this idea where I was going to put plants in there, and which I have, I bought some planters, and it's come out quite nice. And on the here I've got seeds in these ones on the wall here. I have seeds, and I hopefully flowers bloom. They're on the way, I think. I put them in a couple of days ago, and that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Okay, but don't believe a word I say. Okay, but as Mr. Sarasota Tim would tell you. Today I saw a video from Carl. Okay, Carl, the guy with a beard, he was an attorney. He's actually a very, very lovely guy. Okay, can you excuse me a second? Something just happened here. Okay, there we go. Carl's kind of a good guy, isn't he? And he's got a show now. He doesn't use Sarasota Tim's name. Today he came on and said, "I'm Carl, come on, I'm not at work," and everything, and he's kind of entertaining. He looks the part. He looks like a movie star, doesn't he? Or a rock star, actually. Not a movie star, a rock star. That's what he looks like. He's got the beard, and he's got the blonde hair, and he's like, "Hey, I'm Carl," and screw Sarasota Tim. I mean, well, yeah, I don't think he really means it, although he's had a few rants, I heard. Then you've got the other one, Grifters Anonymous. "Hey, did you see what Sarasota Tim did? He, I saw some Bud Light. I saw Bud Light right behind the coffee." So he's saying Sarasota Tim drinks. And then you have the ladies, the one on the way to work in the morning. I forget her name. I keep forgetting her name. The British lady. "Oh, hello everybody. Sarasota Tim again is in the news." He's not in the news. You're making him in the news. He's not in any news. Okay? He just does his thing. He's done the Tampa RV show. He's done a great job. What do you mean in the news? Well, what he did is he did this, and Miss Tammy came in. How did you know that Miss Tammy came over or did this or did that? Or now they're insinuating that he's a little different. Okay, which is absolutely untrue, as everyone knows. But everyone has these things about this guy. And I want to defend the guy. He's doing all right. He's a good dude. And all I've got to say is, to you haters out there, you're just jealous. And you can't do what we've done. We did it, okay? Without having any fuss, procrastination that you obviously have, because you guys can't do it. You don't have nobody has the cojones to do it. You don't have the balls, okay? And you know it. You know, it's just, you know, even if I had a home in Colorado, I sold it, I got rid of it, bang, and I'm retired. Beautiful, done. Without having to work anymore the rest of my life, even though I am going back to work, but it's my choice. Nobody told me I have to do that. I don't have to do it, but I am going to do it because I just want to do it just because I don't feel I'm that old at 67, that I can still work another couple of years, believe it or not. I've lazed around for a couple of years, and I kind of don't like the feeling, you know, I'm kind of like feeling, you know, I still got something left, so anyway, love all of you, and I hope you all have a great night, and I'll be talking to you all tomorrow. Thank you so much. Bye. Johnny Vivento here. Please subscribe and press the like button.